What is up everyone, welcome to chapter 10 of my Fire Emblem 6 Float on Count playthrough. There isn't much to say about this chapter honestly, considering we're just going to be so fast that no side objectives will appear. All we have to do is go as fast as possible to the boss. As always, while doing that, we still want to farm EXP on Shin, Su and Sol, so the last of them really close to promotion, level 9 and 8 respectively. We'll also get to bring in 1D, as it will be critical for this chapter. Up until now, I haven't really talked about inventory management that much, but this chapter is an interesting one on that regard. The way I try to do preparations is that I'm simply trying to find ways to go as fast as possible, force of habit. So you likely realize that I still have a lot of junks in my inventory, like Shenna right now, or Lilina who still carries a lockpick and a vulnerace in chapter 8. Zealot will actually get the horse layer on this chapter, not because it's faster, but because it's required, as that will mess with the AI of the enemies on turn 1, as they see that Zealot has a weapon in his inventory that slows him down. The big difficulty we will have is that there is going to be a lot of enemies blocking our way forward on bridges, but we have got tricks. After Roy weakens the first fighter with his light brand, we get a 4% javelin crit on the halberd fighter blocking the bridge with good old Marcus. Next up is a level up on Shin, for which we'll burn 1867 random numbers to get a perfect level up, using the longbow. Said longbow will be very important in order to break through the inevitable choke points we'll have on turn 2, which we'll give to Su. Next up is Sol's perfect level up, which was 1200 random numbers away. Now it's time to kill off some people. First, we need to make Oje move again. So Wade is going to take him and die using our good old hand axe, which is now sadly gone. Next up, we need to make Marcus move again, and the only one in range to do that is Trek, so he'll die for Marcus. That way, Marcus can rescue Shanna all the way to the bottom of the island. Finally, Oje will now make Shanna move again and die doing so. All this allows Shanna to move all the way down and be in range of the group of enemies of the second to last island. In order to kill them all on the next really long enemy phase, we need Zealot to burn 435 random numbers, and then he will rescue Wendy as her time has come. This enemy phase is going to take forever, mostly because Shanna has a lot of enemies to kill here. I doubt you ever heard this enemy phase theme loop in game, so you will be able to enjoy that here. So, while Shanna is going on a killing spree, we can talk of a few side objectives on this map that we are not going to clear. The village contains a sword river, which is a pretty useless weapon. The other two are two characters that we can recruit, Jeez and Gonzalez. Sadly, they arrive on turn 4 and 6, and Gonzalez is very out of the way and requires to deploy Lilina. They aren't really great character either. Gonzalez is a bandit, sure packs a punch, but he has 15 con, which makes it really hard to carry, and Jeez is a pirate, outside of his B rank in axes and his brave axe, doesn't have good stats to be worth shooting. Note all the enemies that Shanna is killing here. She's using a javelin for this, and as you know, we like to keep low usage javelins in our inventory to set up some sketchy stuff. So in order to keep this one at 2 uses, we got a crit on the mercenary we attacked on player phase, and we'll also need another one on something, which happened to be a mercenary, and also on the berserker, this time to kill it. That will leave it at 3 uses, and then we'll just have to kill the boss with another crit to put it down to 2 uses left. Turn 2, we need to start bringing 1D to the front line. But before that, we need to clear the way in front of Marcus so he can reach Shanna. We'll do that by killing the bottom fighter with Sue's longbow and a 6% crit. We also need to kill the merc north of Marcus so Zealot can give Wendy to Marcus, which is an 11% crit by Shin, using his short bow. Now, Zealot can come, give Wendy to Marcus, and kill the fighter with a 2% crit, and there we go. We can now do our rescue chain. Zealot gives Wendy to Marcus, Marcus gives Wendy to Shanna, and Shanna drops Wendy close to the boss. Meanwhile, Noah is preparing the rescue chain of Roy to the boss room for next turn. Since we cleared most enemies last enemy phase, we don't have much to worry about outside what is happening at the very bottom. Wendy is getting some heated action. Using her 2-use javelin, she gets hit by a shaman, but retaliates with a 1% critical, getting it right there. This required her to have 3 more skill points to have a crit chance, and 1 extra strength than base to kill, hence why she used the Secret Tome on last chapter, as well as got a skill and strength level up. What an absolute unit she is. But her legend isn't over yet. On turn 3, Shin and Sue can kill 2 more enemies, and Sue will get to level 10 with a perfect level, but defense and luck, and can now promote. We just need the Northern Bolt for that, however, and we don't have any yet. We killed the enemies blocking the way for Soul so he can heal as well, as he also is inching really close to level 10. Roy's rescue chain now begins. Roy is given to Zilla, who in turn gives him to Marcus, who gives him to Shanna. Shanna won't drop Roy, as she needs to kill the boss first, which is a 1% crit with her javelin again. This gives her perfect level, but defense and resistance. The last unit that hasn't moved yet is Wendy, and she has one last important job to do. As a last stand, Wendy will take Roy and attack the remaining shaman with her 1-use javelin, sadly dying in the process, but allowing Roy to move again so he can seize, saving a turn, and allowing us to finish the chapter in 3 turns. See you next time for chapter 11.